Hello and welcome to Eddie's Wall. Today we're going to talk about a question I saw on my Instagram account, and that is, who is the most iconic snowboarder to you? This is a really great question because there's kind of two ways to look at it. You can think of who is the most iconic snowboarder in snowboarding as a sport, or who is iconic to you personally growing up and who influenced you. If you're a little bit older, you're probably going to list some of your iconic snowboarders as the legendary guys like Terrier and Craig Kelly. But you know, nowadays, the younger kids coming up might see some of the new guys like Yuki Kadono doing 1620s as an icon, or Louis Paradis coming out of Canada doing crazy rail tricks. So it's really different for everybody when this question is asked. I tracked down a couple of pro snowboarders to find out who is the most iconic snowboarder to them.
That is a tough question. I mean, hands down, the most iconic snowboarder of the history of snowboarding is probably Craig Kelly. I mean, Craig Kelly is an icon for sure.
Snowboarding is just like living because you have fun moments and harsh moments. You get scared. Some days it seems like you're just working, and sometimes you're just having fun.
Then you get into it and so many people have made important impressions. So Jamie Lynn, Peter Line, Terrier, Johan, Jeff Brushy. I don't even know if people remember that guy, but he was definitely important.
I gotta pick a few because I like the streets and the POW stuff, but Grandies, J-Rob, Volley, Gigi, Nicholas is sick, Manuel, fastest snowboarder alive, love watching his stuff, and everybody's got a little bit different flavor, but those are some of my favorite dudes.
I think, growing up, my biggest inspiration was Terrier, and just establishing this new way of riding and this new progression that was so mind-blowing to me, and that just carries on to this day where I think about it. But other people like Shaun White and Travis Rice and Danny Davis that go out and do their own thing, and they're their own people, and they're taking control of their image, and what snowboarding is all about to them is something that I think is really awesome too.
Most iconic snowboarder for me was definitely Tara Takitis. She was such a badass in every single way. I still look up to her.
My biggest role model, iconic snowboarder coming up was Jana Mayen. She's just the biggest boss in women's snowboarding.
Jamie Lynn, Peter Line, Craig Kelly, Nicholas Mueller, Gigi, all those guys, they're all the greats.
So those are some pretty solid icons right there, and you gotta figure Craig Kelly is going to be way up there for most people. I mean, he really shaped the whole sport of snowboarding. He won so many world titles, so many competitions, and then decided to kind of give it all up and just go free ride and get back to his roots of snowboarding. So Craig Kelly is definitely one of the most legendary snowboarders of the sport. And then, of course, you have guys like Terrier. He won so many contests, world titles, the US Open, all of these things. And then, before anybody, he came out with one of the first movies, Subject Hawkinson, that was actually focused on one single rider. Nobody had ever done that before, and since then it's been very hard to make a movie that is that influential. As Shane said, it's really hard to narrow it down to just one or two guys. You have people like Peter Line, Jamie Lynn, Nicholas Mueller, Gigi Ruff, and Travis Rice, who are major icons to a lot of snowboarders. And we can't forget about the ladies. As Leanne and Spencer said, Tara Takitis and Jana Mayen were really influential, as well as Barrett Christie and other girls who really shaped the sport of female snowboarding. As for the most iconic snowboarder for me, I would have to say Terrier. I mean, he's won every major contest you can win. He's killing it at half pipe, big air jumps, quarter pipes. He's filmed some of the best video parts that anyone's ever seen. His riding has always been one step above everyone else's. And now he's still killing it riding Big Mountain. So there you have it. Those are some of the most iconic snowboarders in our sport. And of course, there's other guys like Tom Sims, Jake Burton, who've also been huge influences on the sport. So now I would love to know your most iconic snowboarder. Please leave it in a comment on the TW Snow Facebook page or on my personal Instagram @EddieWall using the hashtag EddiesWall. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.